Women's Development Officer at Emirates Cricket Board and one of the crown jewels of the UAE national team, Chaya Mughal. It is a pleasure to have you on Cricket with Krishna.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here.
Honestly, your reputation really precedes you. Like, people in Oman know about you. We haven't had a chance to interact very heavily before. But just so you have a little bit of an idea, I used to play with the Indian Social Club. I was the vice captain of the team for 2 different seasons.
Wow.
I've had the opportunity to train with the Oman national team as well, both men and women.
Lovely.
I think one of my most prized memories of all time is the fact that I got Jatinder out when we were playing against. Yes, exactly.
Okay.
When we were playing against each other.
Do you have a proof for that?
Jati himself is living proof because the boys still do not let him forget this.
Wow.
Yes.
Memories.
Exactly. Memories.
Okay.
So with that, we will go ahead and get started with our first segment, which is basically me just asking you a bunch of questions about, how the ICC T20 Men's World Cup is going, and then sort of getting your insight into the entire game, right? So to begin with, let me ask you a simple question, which is, can you give us an overview of the Super 8? Like, what are your insights into the Super 8? The countries that have made it so far, which countries still stand a chance to actually making it?
Well, I think out of all the 4 tables, I think Australia and India are the ones who have confirmed place in Super 8. Other than that, USA and Pakistan are still fighting for the spot, that important spot, which everybody's guessing it right at the moment. Everybody's thinking who's going to be there. So that's one of the spots that's yet to be decided. Other than that, if we talk about the other group, Australia is there. Depends again, Scotland or England. It's an interesting thing.
For sure. Yes. What did you think about West Indies beating the Kiwis out of the Super 8?
That was, I think, another setback of the tournament. I would never personally wanted to see New Zealand out of this World Cup campaign, because they are so good in terms of playing cricket, in terms of the representatives for playing cricket, in terms of showing the sportsmanship on and off the field. It's such a great team. I always wonder why they are not there, just across the line when it's meant to be there. They are like the students of a class who always get distinction, but they fail in the finals, It goes in like
that. Sounds very much like RCB to me.
By the way, I'm a teacher by profession. So I used to be a teacher by profession. So teaching things would come in between my conversations, because it used to be my expertise once upon a time.
Right, yes. Yeah. So I do believe that you're from the beautiful, gorgeous Jammu and Kashmir.
Yes.
You used to be a school teacher by profession. And you recently made the switch into being the Women's Development Officer for the Emirates Cricket Board.
Yes, it's been over a year now.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Happy first anniversary. Tell us a little bit about what this really means.
Well, okay, to give you a little more clearer idea about the picture, cricket in UAE started in the year 2007. That was the inception. And our first game was against Bangladesh, wherein UAE got all out. Guess how many runs?
50? 60?
9.
No way. 9 runs all out?
Against Bangladesh.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. And that was a time when we barely had a, team that could play cricket. So thinking about that, when that thing happened, and then newspapers were all over, like, why UAE has to play cricket when they don't know how to play cricket and all that stuff, So Emirates Cricket Board, they took up the initiative of having women's cricket on board, and then, just building it up.
Right.
So that these things don't happen in future. And then they started the program. They developed a pathway structure for the women's cricketers. And that's how the cricket started in UAE. It started off having the domestic structure, and then, of course, playing the Gulf Cup matches. I don't know if you were there at that time.
Of course. Born and raised in Oman.
Okay.
Been in the region all my life.
All right. So, yeah, we played thrice. We played Gulf Cup, and twice we were the winners for that. And I think in Gulf region, UAE is the strongest team.
Oman.
Yeah, but others are catching up really well.
Yes.
I'm talking about Oman and Kuwait and Qatar as well. They're doing really, really good in terms of playing cricket. They are really working hard on their skill set. And I'm sure in coming years, they would also be on the same platform where we are now. The kind of position that we have earned, the spot that we are on now, I think they could be soon there.
So Chaya, you are a Women's Development Officer at the Emirates Cricket Board. What does a day in the life look like?
Being the development officer, we have started this structure called as the pathway actually that we have created for women cricketers who are playing here. So any female aspirant who wants to play cricket that falls in the age category of say 7 years onward, even 6 for that matter, if they want to play cricket, if they are good enough, if they are keen to play this sport, we welcome them on board with us. And this program is called as Get Into Cricket, which is free for any girl who wants to play cricket. So we have a couple of centers running at the moment in Dubai and Sharjah, and we offer free training sessions to everyone.
That sounds incredible.
Yeah.
And where are these sessions? Like where are they hosted?
Well,
where are they playing?
Every Saturday we conduct these sessions in Glendale International School. Okay. They've been very kind enough to give us their football ground is there, and
thank you, Glendale.
Let us, yeah, they are really very, very supportive. And if I talk about Sharjah, then we have it on every Friday from 5 to 7 at Skyline University.
Okay.
I'm sure you've heard of it.
Of course. I mean, who hasn't heard of Skyline, right?
Yeah.
So if anybody actually wanted to take part in this program, how would they reach out to you or to Glendale or to Skyline? Well,
there is a website about Emirates Cricket Board. They can register their interest on them, and then I'm always there. They can message me on my social media accounts, and then I'm always going to give them a call back, or they can even email me for that matter.
And your presence on social media, do you want to give us your handle?
That's @ChayaMughal.
@ChayaMughal.
Yes.
Okay. So your first name and your last name.
Yes, my first and the last name.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you for actually walking us through what it is that ECB does and what do you do as a Women's Development Officer. Let's talk a little bit about the ICC T20 Men's World Cup, right? Now, within the World Cup, we know that there are specific countries that have qualified for the Super 8. And there are some countries who are fighting till the very death to ensure that they do qualify, right? Mm-hmm. And one of those countries is definitely Team Pakistan.
Yes, I think that's the word of mouth for everyone who is there. Everybody's talking about it.
Yes.
It could be 50% yes, 50% no.
So recently, there were comments that were made by Brian Lara, one of my favorite cricketers of all time.
My favorite too.
Right? Yes, I mean, with good reason. So Brian Lara actually mentioned something along the lines of he believes that Babar Azam's boys will be making a very early exit from this particular T20 World Cup.
Well, I think, of course, it's the personal opinion that matters to anyone, and everybody's free to express what they believe, But for me, I would say that, to justify my statement about a team who is really good in terms of playing cricket, they have earned a spot, they have earned a name for themselves. They've got such good cricketers in their team. And then if we put a label on them, or if we just think about it, that they are not going to be a part of this major campaign that everybody works hard for it, then I think it's a little bit unfair for them on their side. Being a cricketer, I would always want to see good cricket on any platform, and this is one of the biggest platforms. So why not have good teams so that we can see more competitive games? Imagine one more game happening, India-Pakistan, how much it's going to be like, the crowd is going to have fun like crazy.
Oh gosh, yes. Like especially if both
USA people in America, they were surprised to see the kind of crowd that came to watch the game, and they were like, wow, this is something, a game that is worth to be remembered, a game to be followed. And I'm sure after this, for a country like USA where cricket is never played before, and it's just a budding sport there.
Yes.
And then everybody's taken it up so seriously.
Correct.
And USA is supporting it so well that I'm definitely sure that in the coming years, USA is going to earn a spot for themselves. Like Afghanistan, very new team, very young team, but they are playing the test cricket. So I'm going to definitely see USA at same spot in somewhere in near futures too.
And I actually agree with you in saying that I don't think the United States understood fully the magnitude of hosting something like the T20 Men's World Cup within their own country, right?
True.
Because look at the sort of premises that they've set up. The stadiums are very far removed from the city. Also, the pitch, which is completely unpredictable, right?
Yes.
So where where batters actually expect that the ball will actually bounce on the pitch and come up to a certain height. First over mein jaise pitch behave kar raha hai, you can't expect कि second over में यही करेगा.
Exactly.
Let alone from one inning to the other.
True that.
So what do you think, who is going to be the main player at the very final? Is it going to be the two teams or actually the pitch?
Well, definitely not, because now since the venue has been changed, I'm sure kal to I think jab matches ye like khatam hua hoga, to everybody must have thrown a party and enjoyed themselves that we're getting rid of this now, because we are going to have fun in the other leg now. So I think so cricket, we're going to see a different cricket now. Abhi tak bowlers ka bolwala tha, but I'm sure in the coming days we're going to see some batters, especially from our side, like I'm talking about India in particular,
yes,
wherein they have not fired now as of now, but I'm definitely going to see some good cricket from batting perspective in the coming days.
That's great to hear. Something that everyone has their fingers crossed for, especially when we talk about the opening, right? The people who are currently opening the innings, the batters Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli ka duo.
Yeah.
We've seen time and time again through several matches that this is not really a jodi that is firing off, right?
Sure.
This partnership is not really proving worthwhile at all for the team.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe that this is the pair that should actually open for the finals as well?
Well, as a cricketer, I'm going to give this answer,
Yeah.
So when we prepare for a tournament, there are certain things that we keep in mind beforehand. Before you are planning, before you are going, before you are traveling, before you have even entered into a tournament, there are plans happening much before the tournament, and if you are going with the plans, I believe you need to stick with your plans. Now, if I know Kohli has not been scoring, Virat Kohli is not at the moment, I would say in his comfort zone. He has come out of it and he wants to do something different, because IPL sort of, has given him confidence that he can do the opening as well. I mean, we always believe that he can. It's just like even Team India is going to promote him and then he's going to be at the top. And then I believe if like 3 matches is not score runs, and if we are putting him down, again, that's going to be something that will keep happening in the back frame of his mind. I'm not saying that he's not mentally strong or stuff like that, but then as a player, that thing somewhere or the other, even without your thinking, that thing is always there. So I believe if the team, the management have picked up this option of keeping Virat Kohli in the opening pair, I think we should give him a little more time, especially now when the wicket is going to be promising for the batters as well. I think we should go with the same combination.
Is that a chance that Team India should take when you have something like a T20 World Championship at stake?
Well, I believe the combination this time India has got, the kind of balance that we were always looking forward. A great blend of, I would say, senior and the youngsters, more experienced players and the youngsters with their warm blood, who wants to just do quickly, fire some runs and come out. That kind of combination, I'm seeing it right now at the moment with the team, which I believe even if you're going to take risk, it's worth taking it, because we've got players who can support at the back end. The middle order is in absolute good shape, and I believe, we can take that.
Okay, well, speaking of a team combination that's really, really played off, especially in this particular championship for Team India, well, there's a certain player who's recently come into the limelight, although he has many accolades to his name. Surya with his half century. How incredible was he when Team India played against Team USA?
I'm watching all these games very closely, being a cricket enthusiast, a cricket player, watching all the games closely gives me...
I think that's got to be the most humble statement of all time. Enthusiastic cricket player. These are words that are coming out of the ex-captain of the UAE national team.
And you have to be a cricket enthusiast. You have to be
I agree.
Cricketer all the time. I would say cricketer is always a cricketer, whether you are inside the rope or you're outside the rope. It's
true.
Always your business. So if I look at Surya's inning that he played yesterday, that was commendable for me, because for Sky, the kind of a player that he is, those shots which nobody can even dream of playing, and he restricted himself to play those shots. I know as a hard hitter, when your tendency is always to go out and get into the hitting zone from the first ball itself. But I could imagine, how much he must have struggled, just to calm himself and to stay on the wicket when he knew that the wicket is not very supportive. You can't just play your favorite shot on the first ball of the game, because you have to stay there for the team. And that step that Surya has taken, I would say he's gone to a different level altogether.
Would you say his performance was sky high?
It was, definitely it was. The moment it took the catch, I was like, wow, the sun is out, the sky is there. So that's Surya for us.
So Team Mini India, which is of course Team USA, has recently played against Team Mother India, right? Your thoughts on the overall way that the game really played out?
Brilliance, that's the only word that comes to my mind. And while I was watching the game, I could see some of the fans, out there, they were holding the banners saying green card versus what do we have in India?
The Aadhaar card, PAN card.
Green card versus Aadhaar card. So that was actually a fight. But then, Indians are playing against India. And the similar kind of feeling I was having when we played against India in Asia Cup.
Yes.
There are very few players who get this opportunity, to be from a country and you're playing against the same country. I would say like it's a different story altogether.
What was that like?
Describe it.
Yeah.
You get
like when the national anthem went on for India. What was that like for you?
It's like you get goosebumps all over. And then when it's UAE national anthem or for USA their national anthem for that matter, it gives you another goosebumps. You can't really justify both. You can't really differentiate between both because it's your home country.
Yes.
India is my country of birth. I've got my roots there, but then UAE is my second home. I can't be without UAE as well.
Yeah.
So it's a different feeling altogether. And the moment they all come on the ground, they all play such beautiful cricket, I believe it was worth watching.
Speaking of beautiful cricket, how beautiful was it to watch Arshdeep Singh bowl? How satisfying was it when he took every single one of those 4 wickets in 4 overs?
Yeah, I mean, definitely it was a turning point for me, because everybody's talking about the likes for Bumrah. And
yes,
of course, he's a great bowler of all times. But, when you have other bowlers like Siraj and also Arshdeep in your team who are also contributing,
yes,
towards your team's victory, then as a captain, Rohit Sharma would be so satisfied. He would be so much at peace that he knows he has a bowling lineup that can save the matches. Even if batters have failed, we have the players who can save the games for us. So Arshdeep, for that matter, coming in and hitting at the right areas and getting his job done at the right minute, is something that I would say definitely positive signs for India to be in the top 4.
Well, recently, West Indies did play against New Zealand as well. And West Indies has actually qualified to be in the Super 8 as well, right? Alongside Team India.
Yeah.
There was a specific player, Rutherford, who has been the talk of the town. His incredible strike rate, his incredible batting performance. Any thoughts?
I mean, West Indies is one of such teams, they can produce miracles at any stage. You never know, even they have the batters. Even the number 10 can come in and hit the 6 at the first ball. We have seen it before happening, and I could see it now also. It's like you can't give up while you're playing against West Indian side, because they are meant to be victorious. I would say that, they know how to take out the games, while from the losing end, they can be on the victorious side because they know the tactics. They are brave enough to do that. Once on the stage, they were, I think 30 for 5 or something.
Yes.
And then scoring 149 at the end of 20 overs is
explosive batting, right?
It's explosive. This is something that you expect from West Indies. If they don't score like that, then you're like, oh, something is wrong with them. You don't enjoy that thing. But then getting like 37 runs in the last 2 overs, I think that took the game away. I mean, imagine if those 37 runs are not there on board, and New Zealand, they could easily have that thing in their mind that they only have to score 120 something, which is
a very low total.
Quite achievable,
Yes.
But those 2 overs, changed the whole momentum, and it got shifted on the West Indian side. So definitely Rutherford, hats off to him.
So touching upon the New Zealand side of things, there was a specific bowler who I think did incredibly well. Well, to be honest, the entire bowling unit was incredible.
Yeah.
But Trent Boult, the kind of wickets that he picked up, what did you think of his bowling performance?
One of my favorite bowler. Every time you see that energy while he starts running in, and crossing that popping trees when he's about to bowl, you feel something is going to happen. Every ball that he's bowling, he's coming with an intent to take the wicket. You could see it on his face. You could see reflecting in his body. You could see how everybody's supporting him. So Trent bowled one of my favorite left-hander bowler, and seeing him performing is something obvious that everybody would expect.
Yes.
And he's living up to the expectation is very difficult. Earning a spot is very easy, but to maintain your name, I would say that is really, really difficult. But Trent Bolt has always done that, be it IPL, be it any international game that he's playing for his country, anything, ILT also for that matter, he's done wonders even in Dubai. So that's Trent Bolt for you.
True. Well, India versus Canada, that's coming up pretty soon. Do you think that Team India's strategy is going to change? Or do you think right from the get-go, the strategy that they came in with is the one that they're going to stick with?
Well, I think definitely while the venues have been changed now, I think we could have another spinner in the team. And that brings in, I think, Kuldeep Yadav in action soon. And I believe that's one change India would prefer at the moment, other than touching the combinations which are really working well, be it batting or bowling. I feel that's one change which is required, but at the cost of which player, that's a question to be asked. That's $1 million question.
True.
So because at the moment, everybody is so good in terms of what they have been doing. But if I would say the change, that's going to be a fast bowler replacing a spinner.
Interesting. Well, I can't wait to see whether these predictions come true or not very, very soon. And with that, we have a segment that we come to, which I typically tend to enjoy much more than the person on the other side of the table.
Okay, do we swap the chair?
Interesting. This one is called the rapid fire.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Sort of.
Ready or not? Here we come. Which teams do you think are going to make it into the semifinals?
Definitely India.
For sure.
Australia, West Indies, and South Africa.
Interesting. That's a very interesting combination. I believe whichever one of those teams actually makes it through to the finals, it's going to be a cracker of a match.
It is definitely a promising cracker of a match, yes.
Which brings me to my next question. From all of these teams that you've named, the 4 teams, which 2 do you believe will make it to the finals?
Okay. Well, easy going with this. Being an Indian, coming from India, supporting India throughout my life, I believe India first. Not just because I'm an Indian, but because the kind of players that Team India is having at the moment, the informed players, the superstars, those who are performing also, and playing in the difficult situation and emerging victorious. And then going into the next phase, I think definitely Team India is the one who's going to be earning that spot first place. And then, could be West Indies.
India versus West Indies. That's the prediction that you have for this. Okay, interesting. Top wicket taker.
Well, Afghanistan's.
Okay. Would there be any bowler that you have in mind?
Yeah, I think first Rashid is bowling really well. Other than that, their opener, he's been absolutely brilliant in terms of taking wicket. He's got like around 9 wickets in 2 games, which is by far amazing for anyone at this level, coming, playing World Cup and then taking 9 wickets in first 2 games. It's commendable.
Which brings me to my next question. The highest run getter. It could be any team, doesn't have to be Team India.
Okay. Rishabh Pant.
Okay, we're going with Rishabh Pant over Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma.
Yes.
All right. Okay, I'm loving your confidence here.
I feel the kind of form he's in, that he wants to earn that victory for India. I think he's going to go for everything. He's going to give his 100%. He's going to fall out, play those shots that he's meant to play, that he's supposed to play, that we can't even think of. He's going to play all those shots out of the box. And definitely,
and if anyone can do it, it's got to be Rishabh Pant, right? I agree. All right. The most underappreciated men's cricketer. Somebody who you believe deserves a lot more recognition than what they're getting right now.
I think all the players from Team USA.
Including Mr. Patel.
Netwalkar especially,
Yes.
He has been the talk of the town at the moment. I mean, look at this guy. He's coming from India. He's working in such the biggest company, which is so reputed.
Yes.
He's professionally so sound, and when he comes to play cricket, I mean, he wins you the games against teams like Pakistan. He wins super over also for you, and then in the next game, wicket on the first ball, and that too of Virat Kohli, and next over getting Rohit Sharma out. I mean, what else?
That's incredible.
Has anyone ever expected that? I don't think, including myself. Nobody would have heard of him, a couple of days back. But now everybody knew who this guy is, and I would say he definitely needs to be recognized. He definitely needs to be, talked about, because the kind of things that he has done in the past 2 games is amazing.
I mean, to get Kohli and Sharma, come on, there's no way that the guy slept at night.
Yes.
Right? He must have been celebrating all the way through and through.
Yes, definitely.
Oh, so if there were a wild card entry for any team to sort of make it back into the finals, adding a little bit of a Bollywood masala in this, which team would that be?
Well, I think without even thinking, Team New Zealand.
Kane Williamson all the way.
Yes, and I don't know, they all are so good. Why they're not there, I just can't accept it. It's disheartening for all Kiwi fans, and including myself, because I love the people from New Zealand. They're so cool, they're so humble, and they're so good.
Yes.
In fact, my favorite player, she comes from New Zealand. It's Sophie Devine.
Aha.
Yes, I've had the opportunity to sit with her, and she is so good, like any other New Zealander, and I definitely want to see Team New Zealand in the top 8.
All right, well, another time.
Maybe.
All right. In your opinion, the best fielder of all time?
Jadeja.
Of course, right? Like, that was a no-brainer.
That was a no-brainer.
All right. The most overrated men's cricketer?
Overrated.
Overrated.
Okay.
Could be somebody from the 90s, the 80s, not necessarily somebody who's playing right now.
Okay. Babar Azam.
Really? Did you just say Babar Azam?
Yeah, I mean, it's just my point of view.
Okay.
Yeah, it's no harm, no hard feeling against
That's
him.
fine.
But then definitely a very good player. But then the kind of performance that is expected from such a good player at this level, I think has to be there. It's not just this tournament, but then if we talk about other tournaments also combined, that I want to see Babar Azam actually, leading from the front and then taking the team along, taking those wise decisions on the field, which is normally expected from a player. Well, as of now, it's missing, and I definitely want to see that in future.
Especially when you look at it from a captaincy point of view, right? Because when you think about Rohit Sharma as a captain, you understand that just by looking at him, you understand that this person knows, for example, all of his bowlers. Yes, he does have the added advantage that throughout the IPL, he's actually managed these bowlers, so he knows their strengths and weaknesses. Exactly. But the way he actually deploys them on the ground, saying that this is the time where, for example, over number 3 is where I need Bumrah to be.
True.
And then retain him until the 15th over, which is absolute magic as a captain.
Exactly.
So I agree with you.
I think as a captain, it's your... it should be your expertise, knowing your players. And as Dhoni said, bringing on the players at the right time, when you believe that this player is going to perform, that is very important. Because on a given day, not everybody can perform, right? But you have to identify during the match or before the match, the star player for your team. And it starts right from the morning when you look at the players, when they come and they talk to you on the breakfast table, maybe you could see that spark in the players, and you just start guessing that today this is going to be my team player, this is going to be the star for my team. It's not just me being on the front and performing all over, but then it's how you lead the side. It's how you take the teammates along with you, and then taking those vital decisions on the field, bringing in the players, which are required at that particular time. If you know their strengths or weaknesses for that matter, that is very important. As a captain, you should know your players in and out.
Yes.
And you should back them up during their difficult times, and you should expose them, with their strengths when it's required.
So you made a very interesting statement there, which is knowing your players inside out. You've been playing for, well, you have played for Team UAE from 2018 all the way up until 2023. Now, in this particular ICC T20 Men's World Cup, the country that qualified as a Middle East represent was Team Oman. And they did play against Team UAE as well.
Yeah.
So my next rapid fire question to you is, Team UAE or Team Oman?
With my eyes closed, Team UAE.
Why is that? I mean, Oman actually qualified.
They did. I mean, Oman, no doubt, they're performing really well. But the kind of strength that UAE is having, I'm literally surprised why they are not there. You know, they could have been there. I'm not saying instead of Oman, but then definitely they could have earned the spot. And they've played against Nepal, they've played against Oman, they've played against Canada, they've played against all these teams, and they've done so well in the past. You know, I'm literally surprised to know why.
I can still see the
UAE
sorrow
is
on your
not-
face.
Why UAE is not there? So definitely UAE as my country.
All right. Well, I mean, if the sides were switched and I was asked the question, I think you know the answer already.
Okay.
All right. This brings us to a very exciting part. This segment is called the game show.
Okay.
Right?
Mhm.
So this is where I'm going to ask you 5 or 10 questions.
Okay.
And let's see which answers you can come up with. If there's a point where you feel like, hey, you know what, I could use like a multiple choice,
Mhm.
feel free to let me know.
No lifelines.
As many as you want.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll get started with our next segment, which is the game show.
Mhm.
Nicknamed Binga, this former Australian cricketer is known to be the second fastest bowler of all time. Who do you think this is?
Brett Lee.
Of course.
Yeah, it's quite obvious.
Yes. Second question. आपको मिलते हैं 10 करोड़. Of imaginary money
Cash
coin.
check.
Cryptocurrency.
Rupees or dirhams.
Cryptocurrency.
Okay.
Okay. This captain of Pakistan is the only player to be a top 3 batsman in all forms of cricket. Your choices are
Mhm.
Fakhar Zaman, Iman ul Haq, Mohammad Nawaz, your favorite, Babar Azam.
I think it's Babar Azam.
It actually is. Good job.
Yeah.
Okay, the third question. You're 2 for 2 so far. This England batsman goes by the number 66.
Joe Root.
Yes, bang on, up top.
His Instagram and handle also has the same.
Yes, that's true.
Ooh, that's a
We decided to slip some easy questions in just to make sure that Chaya is
Thank
fully
you.
comfortable.
Please continue.
Okay, question number 4.
Yeah.
This Australian batting machine was banned from cricket for 12 months from ball tampering.
Okay, I know.
Easy enough.
Yeah.
Starts with the letter S.
Yes.
Both first name and last name starts with the letter S.
I know. How can I forget this?
Could it be Steve?
Steve Smith.
Yes, bang on.
That was easy.
All right. Next one. This England wicket taker
Mhm.
has been an epic level bowler for a really long time. James Landerson.
James Anderson.
James Anderson. Good job. Okay.
I mean, taking 700 wickets in Test cricket is not a joke.
Absolutely.
He's got so many accolades under his belt. I mean, you can't even name them, you know, while having this talk show because he has earned a name for himself and then retiring at the age of what, 41 or something?
40 years. Incredible.
He's a role model for everyone.
Yes, true.
That to a fast bowler whose survival is not much. I mean, the lifelong. I'm talking about the the fitness level of the fast bowlers. But
yeah, there's a shelf life always, especially for
Yes.
fast bowlers.
yes, but he has definitely changed that.
And he's also the record holder for quite a few broken records, right?
He is.
Okay, on to our next question.
Mhm.
This particular player is the first fast bowler to captain Australia full time.
Pat Cummins.
Yes.
And
Okay,
he did well.
he did really well.
He
Like
did
really,
well.
really well.
Yeah, I was surprised how come he's not there for World Cup.
It's shocking, right? Some of
It
these
was.
decisions from the selection committee,
They were literally out of the box and nobody
Yes.
would have even dreamed of them.
true. It was similar to Mumbai Indians where Hardik Pandya was picked to be the captain.
True.
Unfortunately, he got a lot of flack for it. I'm sure it was a decision that was defendable
Yeah.
by the leadership.
But now they all look so good on the field.
Right?
When you look at them, you forget what all has happened in the
Yes.
past, and then I think people have also ignored that thing, and then everybody is supporting with the whole heart, I would say, and all energy is driving in the same direction. I would say is helping all the players.
True. And after a certain point, you do want to see the team pass the baton on to somebody who's younger.
Yes.
Right?
Definitely.
And it's amazing when the older players actually recognize this.
That's very important.
Yes. For the spirit of the game, for the next generation, for
True.
where your country is going to stand in the next few years.
Exactly. Or something will happen like for the teams like Sri Lanka, like they were not there anywhere for like good 2 years. Yeah. Even West Indies for that matter. You don't see any victories from their sides, or they were not in any major leagues as winners, or taking those titles. Then it takes a lot of time for the team to rebuild. Yeah. But then if the structure is done while the older players are also there, I'm talking about the senior players, while they're about to leave, and then they prepare the younger ones, who could take the spot, is great.
I agree. Passing on that flame is so important.
Yes.
Next question. This particular bamboozling spin bowler took the Sudoku ball from the streets of Chennai to international test cricket. I'll make it simple. Indian players from Chennai. Indian bowlers from Chennai.
Bowlers?
Spin bowlers.
Okay. What are the options?
KL Rahul. Rohit Sharma.
Never.
Virat Kohli.
No way.
Or Ashwin Ravichandran.
Of course. One of my favorites, in terms of listening to his interviews, and while he's explaining something, it's fun to watch.
Yes. He's such an entertaining person to listen to as well, right?
Yes, he is. And how he makes it funny, that is also really nice.
I feel like if there was...
To make
oh, you did? Yeah. Really? Okay.
I had a session with him.
How did that go?
Very serious. That was a serious business, by the way. Or you were saying something?
Well, I was actually saying, if I had to pick somebody who's like the funniest funniest cricketer of all time, I don't know if I would choose Ashwin Ravichandran or if I would choose Ashish Nehra.
Yeah.
Because Ashish Nehra is a riot to listen to.
Yeah, and then Ashwin's Mankad, it always makes you laugh. Whether you're a cricketer or not, you would understand this is Ashwin's
persona. Yes, for sure. Okay, well, this next person is England's wicket-keeper batsman. Who do you think that could be?
England's?
Wicket-keeper batsman.
Is it current?
I'll give you two options.
Okay.
It's either Johnny Bairstow or Freddie Flintoff.
Bairstow. Yeah.
Bairstow. It was a trick question. Trick question. Good job.
Thank you.
All right, last two questions to go. This ancient Victorian cricketer is famous for his massive beard.
Yes. I know.
If you need a clue, you can let me know.
It starts with W?
Yes, it does.
Yes. What is the next letter?
Well, I think he holds his beard with a lot of grace.
I know. Mr. Wilson?
W.G. Grace.
Yeah. Grace. W.G. Grace.
Close enough. You got the first letter.
Yes.
Indicates you knew the answer.
I knew it.
Yes. And this Australian is 2022's top batsman in Test cricket.
Australian. Top batsman. Okay. The one who took the World Cup away from us. First letter.
M.
Second letter.
A. I feel like we could do this all evening. I'll give you 4 first names and you have to choose from them. Pat.
No.
Merv. Steve. Marnus.
Yes. Lambishin.
Absolutely right. Good job. Your score is 8 out of 10, which is pretty incredible. Good job.
What do I get now?
You get this beautiful, lovely plant. Here you go. Well, actually, we have something better than a plant just for you. We would love to get your autograph on this little autograph bag.
Wow.
So this is going to contain all of our speakers from Cricket with Krishna, Season 1. Okay. And if we can get you to sign it as well.
Okay. A pleasure. That's my jersey number 1.
Is that 1? Oh, interesting.
CM.
Nice. Chaya, it's been an absolute pleasure and an honor to have you on Cricket with Krishna. Honestly, I feel like there is such little women representation on not just the sport, but sports everywhere. So it's incredible to have you on here.
Definitely my pleasure. And I really appreciate platforms like this, wherein women's normally they don't get much exposure, especially if we talk about cricket in this part of the world, you know. And if there is a platform wherein we get an opportunity to come and talk, you know, it's I would say it's good, because this gives others a hope that yes, if she can do it, maybe we can also.
We can too.
You know?
Yes, absolutely.
So if I could encourage anyone young girl out there to come and play cricket, I think my job is done. So that's something I want to give it back to cricket, because cricket has given me so many things in my life. So definitely it's my time to give back to cricket.
Lovely. It's lovely having you on here. Honestly, not for the camera or anything, but it's been lovely having you.